Hey everybody, we are back with our final video training installment. So as you know, this is the last module, which is banking with passion. Now in this particular training video, we're going deeper with setting goals and reaching them. Okay, now let's get to the nitty gritty. Make sure you have all your downloads printed out, all your paper, all that great stuff, as you know the routine, right? Okay, I'm gonna go over three main strategies that I want you to implement that you will definitely see results right away. So the last training video, we went over that profitable mindset and making sure you know what you want and what it looks like and not to walk in fear, all that great stuff, which is definitely necessary. Now, let's go back to that first point, knowing what you want. I'm going to talk about the money part of that because really when we talk about banking with passion and setting your goals and reaching them, it's easy just to say it, but we need to put some strategy behind it. So the first thing is, write down in the downloads that I gave you, write down exactly just a goal, a financial goal that you want to bring in for increase with your business that you want to do starting next month or this month, depending on when you watch this. Now, with that goal, it's easy to write it down, and you may say, okay, well, how exactly do I do that? So the first thing is you have to have your numbers. Now, when I talk about your numbers, I've worked with so many people who have just thrown out a number like, oh, I just want to bring in whatever, it could be extra 100,000 a year, which is great. But then my question then is, okay, so what are you doing now and what are you starting with? And is that a realistic goal? So I want you to start off, and it could be realistic for somebody who's already, already has that following, who already has a product or is ready to create one. But if you have nothing and you're like just starting off with, a handful of folks that are saying great things about what it is that you do, we need to build your brand, we need to build your strategy and all those great things as well. So start off where you are, even if it's, could be an extra 1,000 a month or, extra 500. Start off with something that you can do that's doable, realistic, and then you grow from there because it really builds up your confidence and your ability to grow faster, further when you take those baby bite-sized steps. So that's the first thing is write that down, and now we're gonna go and break that down. So we're going to break that down per person. So let's just say, for example, if you want to bring in an extra grand a month, okay, what does that look like for you? So you have to have something to sell. We already talked about your offer, right? And you need to have a price point to that. So the question then is, well, how many of those offers do you need to sell in order to reach that extra grand a month? Like, that's really, it's not rocket science. It's just like breaking it down. Well, how many do? If you have $100 product, then you know how many people you need to sell it to in order to reach a grand. If you have a $200 product, if you have a $500 product, whatever it is, that's just two people. If it's a $1,000 product, that's just one person. So just break it down based on the numbers. That's just know your numbers. Now, the next thing is, that's the first part. You have to know the goal. The next part is like, okay, well, how do I do that? I talked about it, I think like 2-3 videos ago. You have to get in front of more people. So the question is, what actions are you going to take? What are you going to do in order to get in front of the people that are going to purchase this from you? So you need to have a strategy in place. So I have a download for you where I go over the online strategy and then one for your offline strategy. I say work both. Don't just be so offline where you're missing the online stuff, and don't be so online where you're missing the offline things. I think it's great to have both. So if you're getting in front of people and speaking, we talked about that a little bit in a previous video, or if you're going to be doing some things on social media and then you're leading people to your website, or if you don't have a website, even a landing page, then yes, then you need to be doing that too. But whichever way you're doing it, you need to have at the end of the day, you need to have a product to sell to them to reach your financial goal. That's what that piece is. Okay, now the third and last thing I'm going to give you the strategy for this particular training video is you need to have a clear call to action. So whether you're doing it online or offline or both, as you should be, you want to make sure that, remember I said, people do business with those they know, like, and trust, and you need to make deposits. So you're not going to lead in with, okay, come and buy this from me. You're going to lead in with deposits both ways. Like if you're doing it offline, you're doing it online. You're going to lead in with deposits. What are you giving them that's of great value to really improve their life? Whatever it is that is in your industry that's going to lead them down the road to what it is that you're offering. I always like to start with the end product first and then work my way backwards, so I know everything is speaking the same and it's not confusing people. It's very linear and it's leading them right where I want them to go. So start with your end product. If you're in product, some of you all said you were doing counseling, or you may have an art, a piece of artwork, or you're creative and maybe you're doing a one-woman show or or production of some sort, like lead them to that. It doesn't matter what it is. You want to be able to know what that end product is, which you want them to purchase from you, and then back it up to say, okay, what can I give them that's free, that's going to be of great value to them? What can I create that's going to lead into that sale? And then that is going to be the way to do it both online and offline. Now, as you're giving these free things away leading up to it, you need to have, this is the third point, have a clear call to action. If you don't tell people what to do next, they don't know what to do. You just don't want to assume, oh, well, they're going to buy, or they know what they wanted. So if they want it, then they're going to buy. That is not how it works, like at all. You need to be very clear, because you have to remember that the people who you're talking to, everybody here, like we all in this world, are inundated with all this noise. Like it's all this just white noise, just stuff going on, whether it be in our email or on social media, how we consume our news, or just on the street. They're just like noise. It's just distractions. They're just things. Everyone is wanting our attention. They're fighting and competing for our attention. So you have to remember that same thing is going on with your audience. People are competing for their attention, not just in your industry, but other industries as well. And not just that on the outside, but they have families. Like people have lives. So you have to know how to stay top of mind. And one of the easiest ways to do that is by making wise deposits, but then giving a very, 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 very clear call to action and giving a timeline with that. So you don't just say, okay, whenever you're ready, buy it. I like to say, buy it by this date. After that, it's going away. And then in my strategy, I'll have something else that's offered at, maybe the following month. But when people know that there's a time limit, they're like, okay, there's some urgency, there's some scarcity, let me go ahead and get on it. So remember that. Those are your 3 things I want you to go over for this module. This is going to really, really take you to a whole nother level in your business of profitability. So enjoy it. Let me know your questions. I look forward to speaking with y'all soon. Have a good one.